Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here once again, and today I'm bringing you a brand new Genshin Impact video. This is going to be things you should know before you hop into the game proper. Now, these are tips that I wish I had known before jumping in myself. So, if you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button. It really does help me out. If you're not subscribed already, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Help me as we're on the road to YouTube partner, which is an absolutely amazing goal, and without your help I won't get there, so I appreciate you. But yeah, I'm just gonna jump into it. And first and foremost, what you'll want to know is that this game is a open world co-op RPG. Now, the open world is huge. The co-op though, you don't unlock till adventure level 16, so it's going to take hours of grinding before you actually get to the co-op experience, which can be frustrating if that's what you're expecting this game to be. That being said, the open world RPG aspect of it, it's a lot of fun. Folks have been comparing it oftentimes to Breath of the Wild, which is not far off, honestly, as far as the way the game plays, the way the game feels. And again, if you're gonna be a single player RPG, there's really no problem with being compared to one of the best that's out there right now. That being said, it is going to involve a lot more characters than you might expect from a traditional RPG. What that means is you can freely swap out your characters on the fly. You'll have a party of 4, and each of them is going to have different elements that they're associated with, so you're going to want to pay attention because certain parts in the story cannot be passed without having all of the elements unlocked. Certain parts in the story are going to require you to defeat enemies that are weak to those specific elements. So that's all things to keep in mind as you proceed through the adventure. The elements come into play all the time. You're really going to want to have an idea on what party composition you have that's going to serve you best. As for character customization, each of its characters is going to be able to upgrade attributes. That's going to come down the line as you proceed and you unlock higher levels and you get higher in your adventure tier. Each character has a certain set of weapons they can use. Swords, two-handed, bows, grimoires / orbs. So all the characters are going to have their own set of weapons that they can equip. Not every character can equip every type of weapon. You got artifacts. These are going to act basically as your armor. You can mix and match these quite a bit. Constellation, that's going to be as you unlock your different perks and skills for these specific characters. Now, the different elements are Anemo, which is wind, Geo, earth, Pyro, fire, Cryo, frost, and then you've got Electro, which is lightning. So you're going to have a wide range of characters you can unlock as you go. So choosing which ones to bring for each particular mission is going to be that mix and match that's going to help you either win or fail. Now, one way this game kind of feels like mobile games I've played in the past is the wish system. Now, this allows you to unlock new weapons, new characters. You have to have certain types of currency to unlock those different characters or items, but the currency is not that difficult to obtain. But if you're going to want to get the highest tier of your characters and the highest tier of your weapons, because you can refine the weapons and make them improved if you have multiple copies, for example. The characters, same thing. So in that regard, that's where, even though it's a free-to-play game, spending money will help folks who don't have as much time to grind, because it's going to allow them to search for those second and third copies of those characters or weapons that you're really excited about. Just something to keep in mind. I don't necessarily think this is a bad way to approach things, especially because a lot of the things can be unlocked through just basic gameplay. You're not really going to have to spend a lot of money if you don't want to, or any money if that's not your thing. The world is huge, the adventures are included, so just something to keep in mind, and that's how you're going to earn some of the various characters that you might want to unlock early on. As you saw from combat earlier, you can freely interchange on the go from your characters. So what that means is you're going to want to swap back and forth. Each character is going to have a basic attack, as well as a more advanced attack, and then an ultimate attack. So the more advanced attack on PlayStation, it's R2, you can just swap characters and then use them back to back. So there's really no cooldown on that besides the cooldown of using the characters. That's, in my opinion, makes for exciting battles because you can swap back and forth easily and use as much of the abilities as you want without really having to burn through and have to. You don't worry about not having the abilities at the ready. That said, their ultimate abilities is where they really shine, so you're going to want to keep those available for more difficult fights. Some other general tips: get used to climbing and gliding. You can climb almost all of the structures in this game, which is absolutely amazing. There's going to be a lot of things you think you're not going to be able to get to. You will be able to climb to get to them. There's also the gliding feature, which is really cool and is going to be used a lot as you proceed through, because you glide across areas you might not otherwise be able to get across. Now, the other thing that you need to keep in mind, much like any other RPG, if you're not used to playing RPGs consistently, search everything. There's cooking in this game, there's alchemy, so you're going to want to unlock as many of these items as possible. So whether it's fruit on the ground or flowers, whatever the case may be, you're definitely going to want to entertain and search all this stuff as much as possible, because that's how you're going to unlock these various perks, and those are going to give you benefits as you go through the game. If you don't do them, fine, it's not going to hurt you too much initially, but better to get used to all of that right from the very beginning of the game. And the food actually comes in really handy, because that's going to be the easiest way to heal your characters instead of traditional potions that you might see in other RPGs of this nature. You can heal your characters through feeding them, which the better recipes you get to make better food, the easier it will be to heal them during combat. You're also going to be able to revive characters with certain foods as well if they die in a dungeon, which is going to be super important later on as the game gets more difficult. And my final tip would be, make sure you just enjoy the world, explore everything, and have a good time with it. This game is going to be different from anything that I've played so far this year, and that actually has made it a breath of fresh air. The game is so much fun, especially for a free-to-play title. I was not expecting this whatsoever, and the story's been a lot better than I expected. There's certain things that'll help you on your journey, but just ultimately it's about having fun, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I've been. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment below if you're playing, what your favorite character is, what your favorite type of abilities are, all that kind of good stuff. My name is JoPaWrites. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you all later.